El Cafecito. Bro, I gotta chill, bro. This is like my... Bro, this thing looks so blurry, dude. And like, I fucked up. I better said I've been using this one on my fucking screen, like on the camera. And like, I see marks. Like, if it's like if I'm dissolving like the fucking actual glass or something, bro. I'm fucking tripping, though. I hope I didn't ruin them. See how it's blurry, like right here? Dang, I fucked up the glass by using alcohol that's too strong. That's no bueno, dog. I don't see a mark like that anywhere else on the screen. Anyways, whatever. Who gives a fuck? No one should be watching these anyways. At least not for another 20, 30 years when I get murdered or get sentenced to life in prison. Just fucking kidding. Stop being a little bitch. So today was my thinking for a change, my T4C class graduation. It's pretty cool. They had the whole precinct there, everybody there, all the probation officers. I was given a certificate of completion. What do you know? Thinking for a change. See, Florida Department of Corrections. Congratulations, bro. And then I also got a second one, certificate of recognition. This certificate is probably presented to Saul Gordo for most organized. Obviously, you know, I own a business and stuff, so they saw that I always have my folder, post-it notes, little side notes written down. I would always ask the most questions. I would be with the most intricate details. So boom, there's my certificate of recognition for being the most organized. I'm a boss. This is the funniest one. And it's honestly the most authentic and the most honest. This certificate is awarded to Saul Gordo on September 9th, 2025 for being voted most hot-headed. Right there. Proof right there. This ain't a joke. This is a real award. They gave this to me in front of everybody. So, yes, I am the most hot-headed out of the whole group. I remember, these are all prisoners who go through the same shit I do. So, in recognition of your fiery spirit and passionate energy, your personality to defend your personality to defend the underdog at any time. Here's all my stories where me defending people and fucking someone gets bullied, I bully the bully, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't like people getting bullied, getting picked on, or getting, like, singled out, like, as far as race, size, anything like that. So, yeah, I got these 3 certificates today, man. I'm proud of myself. It was a 6-month-long course. It was cool. You know, I met some cool people, so we're going to network still. They said as soon as I get my food truck up and running, which will be in the next few months, that they're all going to come by and see me. They're all going to set up a date, and they're going to come by and see me and help me out and you know, invest in the business. So they're going to help out. So I appreciate the support. Super cool people, man. Super nice people, man. Really cool, really funny. I had a great time with them. I'm kind of glad that I chose that route because I did learn stuff from it. You know, I learned that there's always a different option. You know, as soon as you receive information from somebody else, your brain, there's 2 situations. There's either the time to think or there's in your face. You know what I'm saying? So like when you have time to think, that's great. But there's some situations that I've been into, which are most situations. For me, it's in your face type of situations where I got to react. Either I'm swinging on you, pulling out my gun, cutting you, or just, I don't even know what else. You know, before I didn't even know that there was other tools that I can use. You know what I'm saying? So like now what I do is I just don't entertain shit. What I do now is I learned that since expressing myself verbally, even with my ex, when I would express myself, it was always negative. It was always toxic. I always wanted to fight. If I told her, hey, I feel like this, I feel like that about what you did or what you said or how you know, just anything out of anything, you know, and that, you know, that shows 100% like lack of accountability from the other party. And like, I can't make somebody be held accountable. Like I can't force you to understand that you did something wrong. And I can't force you to react a certain way to my expressions. So like I've learned that like since people don't operate on the same frequency as me, excuse me, I've learned to just distance myself because me trying to explain something to someone who doesn't accept either all I've had is coffee. You know what? It was graduation day, dog. So, you know, I'm cheating on my diet, dude. Got a little cupcake I brought from them. So, give a fuck. Cheers. So, someone who's not willing to accept, like, the way someone feels. Why is it blurry there, dude? I don't fuck my screen up, bro. That's crazy. But the fact that, like, if someone can't hold themselves accountable or take responsibility for anything, are you playing with a water bottle? They sure are. My family. Anyways, like I've gotten into trouble for trying to make somebody understand my perspective and see my train of thought. And that's why I'm so alone now, you know? And honestly, I'm not saying it to be sad. I've become the most successful, the best looking, and the most disciplined man I've ever been in my life being alone. So the solitude made me successful, you know, realizing that I had to find myself before trying to find happiness in some other fucking bitch or some other person. I remember once I was told, I met this random dude walking, right? I was walking in Midtown, and we're walking through a crowd, and then like for some reason, like I look up and I see this one dude, and he looks up at the same time as me. He looked like he looked like Indian, right? And he goes, whoa. He walks by me saying, whoa. I thought it was some fucking fruitcake snowflake motherfucker. It's normal. Miami guys hit on me all the time, and like I never paid no mind. I'm not disrespectful or anything. Like, yeah, whatever. I look good. Who cares? You know. So like I kept walking. He's like, yo, and I was like, what happened? What's up, dude? What do you need? And the guy told me, oh, the chair. I was like, yo, something farted. So the guy told me, bro, your aura is so powerful and your energy, like I can see this energy field around you compared to everybody else's. And then usually they all intertwine together. And I just see a straight, you know, force of energy throughout people. But yours is like blocking other people's energy off. And when I saw you, I looked up and my spiritual part only saw like some God walking through like everybody's bad energy, just boom, expelling all the shit. And I'm like, I'm not really into that stuff, bro. But like, he said, hey, look, he's like, bro, have a seat with me. I want to talk to you. I was like, okay, cool. I sat down with him. He's like, so what do you do? Like, what do you do for a living? Like, what are your goals and stuff? So I started talking to him, opening him up about like what I do. And then the guy tells me, he's like, you want to be a business owner. Like you don't like to work for a living. I could tell. I feel like, I don't know. He's like, bro, I believe in God and Jesus Christ and all this stuff. And he was really spiritual. And then he had me do these 2 little tests to prove that like he wasn't bullshitting. And let me tell you, the guy told me things that I've never told anybody else. So it kind of like got my attention. That's why I sat down and talked with him for so long. So it got my attention, the fact that like there was this one thing that he did. He pulled out a string, right? I've told a few people this story, not many. He pulled out a little black string, right? He wanted that. He gave it to me. He said, look, I want you to grab this string and then think of 3 things that you want to change in your life or completely get rid of. It could be habits, the way you think, people, jobs, whatever you want. Have anything you want to get rid of in your life, do it 3 times. Break it 3 times. So I grabbed the string and he's like, in your head, think about what you're breaking and getting rid of and break the string. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was hard to break, dude. The string was like so I broke one, boom, I put it down. I thought about something else. I broke it again. Boom. And I grabbed the last piece and I broke that piece in half. And I broke it, right? And then he pulled out his hand. He's like, okay, so get the strings that you broke up, put it into a little ball, and put it in my hand. And I put it in his hand. His hand was empty. He wanted this. He held it like this. He held it in front of me, like in my face. And he was like, okay, so listen. So while I'm sitting there staring, I'm sitting in front of the dude, right? He's holding that shit. He's like, listen, I'm telling you, like, there's things that you have to do in your life alone, bro. And like, something tells me that you keep trying to find peace and serenity and happiness and wholeness externally from people or partners or business owners. You want to be a business owner because you don't want to work for nobody. While he's still holding the broken pieces of string, right? He's like, listen, all those things that you put in here are going to be vanished. They're going to be gone from your life. Now, the thing is, it's like prayer. You can pray, but then you continue to worship the devil doing ungodly things. The prayers are not going to go through. It's like sending mail with a bad address. It's going to come right back. It's going to sit and it's going to be stagnant, completely dormant. It's not going to do nothing. So without, execution, prayer means nothing. That's just you trying to be a part of a group. You're pretty much mocking God by praying and then not doing what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So while he's holding the strings pieces, he's telling me, listen, every time that you have a partnership with somebody or you try to work with somebody in your business, you're going to fail over and over and over again. And eventually it's going to cost you everything. And you're never going to be successful, not the way you want to be. So he told me himself, listen, you need to do everything 100% by yourself. Do the business by yourself. Do the work by yourself. Hire by yourself. You can have employees, he said. He said you can have employees, you can have a staff, you can have a whole team. But as far as the person who runs the operation, the person who owns it, you cannot do 50-50 splits. You cannot do nothing with nobody else. And check it out. He told me that. And weeks later, I'll get into that later. But then he went like this and he goes, like, open your hand. He said, look, I'm going to banish these bad things from your hand, from your life right now. And he puts my hand on his and we prayed. And then he opens it and he lets go and he puts the string in my hand and I grab the string. He hadn't moved his hand from up here. He was writing stuff down while I was looking at him, talking to him eye to eye. I'm talking about I didn't let this guy move. I opened up the fucking string and it was a one complete piece again. The same string that I broke into 4 pieces. I broke it 3 times, so 4 pieces. He put it into his hand, held it while we spoke. He prayed over it, handed it back to me, gave it to me, and I opened it and the string was completely intact. Is it magic? Was it a trick string? I broke that shit with my own fucking hands, which was kind of difficult. It was a really tough string. I broke the shit and I made sure it was torn. There was threads sticking out everywhere. Hey, I was like, fuck, that was kind of impressive, dude. I don't know if it's magic. I don't care what it was. So I was like, you know what, bro? Like, for your time, boom, I gave him $100. Boom, here. I gave him $100. I was like, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to me about stuff. So we politicked a little bit. And then he told me, he even said, he looks at me, he's like, you're into short women. I'm like, holy shit, dude. And it's funny because majority of men nowadays are into thick, overweight, unhealthy women just because that's all they can get. You know, and like I've always been the type to be very picky with the women I'm with. Never been with a chubby girl, and it's not because I have anything against you. But anyway, nasal spray, I can't fucking breathe in this house, bro. So, So yeah, if you think about it, there's women out there who are very heavy, you know, and then they're 30 years old. So like from 20 something years old to 30, what I see when I see a single mother with like 2 kids, 2 different fathers, what I see is that you're very bad at making decisions. You're bad at making choices. You make bad choices. Simple. Number 1, you make bad choices with your diet. You're unhealthy, you're overweight, you're fat, and then they always come with an excuse about my thyroid. Oh, like they don't even know what the fuck the thyroid even does, you know. And they blame that shit on the thyroid because every fat person says the same shit. Oh, I have a thyroid issue. I can't lose weight. Of course. So with that being said, I've never been with a chubby girl. I've never been with a fat girl. I've never been with a big girl, and I've never been with a woman even close to my height. They've always been petite, small, tight, fit, real sexy motherfuckers, right? So he told me that you're not into short women. I mean, he said you're into short women, and those are the ones that you're going to continue to pursue, and those are the ones that are going to continue to hurt you and suck you dry. And he said, not in a good way either. He's like, if you continue to pursue short women, he's like, listen, the woman that God is sending you is tall. I was like, taller than me? He's like, close to it. She's about your height. And I was like, come on, man. I don't like tall women. I'm not nothing against them. I've seen some beautiful tall women, but everyone has what they like, bro. Everyone has their preference, you know. So there's some women that only like black men, and it's just because of the pigment of the skin. Because I don't know what the fuck it is, you know. There's some women who can't stand black men or dark men or even brown men. Some women hate white, light-skinned men. You know, everyone has a preference, and my preference is short, petite, tight as fuck, fit, making good choices in the gym, focused on herself, has goals. You know, a traditional fucking woman. So, you know, like, I forgot where I was going with this, but the point is, whatever, fuck it. So let's switch the topic, I guess, since I fucking completely forgot how to brain fart. Yeah, that's fucked up. I completely forgot where I was going with this. I always make one topic into 6 in like one paragraph. I hate it. I can't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. And it's the fact that I keep fucking getting up, my nose gets stuffed, whatever the fuck. So, anyways, I graduated. Boom. Second little certificate I got my college. I got my degree for culinary arts, both of them up here. And now I can add these to the wall. And I'm still trying to get a degree with in nutrition and dietetics, but it's just, man, right now with the scheduling and the fact that I have to the fact that I have to get this truck started and I have to like eventually I did the math. I haven't I haven't had work or income, as if you can say, like in about 11 and a half months. I pay about Let's see. I can calculate that shit if you want. I did it earlier. It's like $57,000 in a year that I spent without making a dollar, and that's not to add the money for the bail for the lawyer, the court fees, the attorney fees after that, all the court proceedings, the fact that I had to pay for court programs like probation. I pay my rent, $2,000, car insurance, trucks insurance, groceries, all types of shit. I pay light bill, cable, phone, everything, you know. So I spend about $4,000 to $5,000 a month in bills every month, and I haven't worked in about 12 months. Luckily, I was able to be financially supported by the streets when I was a bastard and I was a piece of shit selling drugs. I was very cheap with my money. I wasn't the guy who sold drugs to be the cool guy at the bar, buying the rounds for everybody, and, oh, hey, buy that bitch a drink. No, bro. I was like, hey, I'm going to give her a drink. And for me, my lady, get some food and get the fuck out. You know, I treated her like a queen, bought her whatever she wanted, lobster, butter, this, that, steak, scrimps, whatever. Order what you want. Don't matter. There's dates where we've gone out. I spent like $800. I don't even know it, you know? So rest in peace to that relationship. That shit was terrible. What? Hey, what do you want? What are you over there meowing for? Who's over there? Hey, come here. What are you doing? Why are you meowing? Oh, this nigga gonna jump on the kitchen and shit. Can I help you with something? Huh? Before you go after my son's cupcake, I'll kill your ass. You heard me? Blondie? She a little troublemaker, man. She's the cutest. I'm wearing all white. Look, you want to lick some butter? Some meringue? Licky. No, you don't want that sugar? All right. Here you go, Googans. Yo, damn, you shot like a motherfucker. So yeah, once again, lost train of thought what I was talking about. But who cares? I got like 5 cats to feed anyway. So yesterday was my first injection with the peptides. It was successful constituting. It was horrible. I made a video on it to inject, and it was scary. It didn't hurt, but I just hate needles. I'm not a fan of needles, bro. If I was a fan of needles, I'd be so huge because I'd be injecting all the time correctly. And it's not something I'm into. I'm not into needles, thankfully. I know people that threw their life away for drugs and stuff like that. It was all because of a needle. And it's like, well, how do you even feel okay putting... I used to have a homeboy, in between his fingers, he would inject Coke. So he used to buy Coke from me. He would get water, mix it with the water, put it in a syringe, and he would inject in between his fingers. And we would be driving around, and he'd be like, okay, let's see if your shit's good. It was my boy, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like family in a way, you know, just because of things that we've gone through and the fact that he's defended my name when I wasn't in the room. And he's actually fought for me for someone degrading my name. So, you know, I gave him love for that because of the fact that he actually authentically liked me as a person and as a homeboy. He trusted me, and I trusted him. Hey, motherfucker. So then, you know, but he just had a dope problem, you know. He actually had to move back to Belgium or Germany or whatever. I forgot where it was. Yeah, fuck, man. Damn, I got you. I'm gonna feed you now. Just relax. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it. He had a drug problem, whatever. That he used to inject right here. Boom. So he would inject, and he would like, let me see if this is good or not. And I'm like, come on, man. What the fuck? I run a quarter of Miami. What are you talking about? So he fucking put it in. As soon as he injects, he'll be like, he'll sigh like, yo, yeah, that's good. That's clean work. He'll just be quiet. And they were like, wow, you got to try it. I was like, I'm good, bro. The reason I make this money is because I don't fucking get high, bro. And he's like, yeah, but put me on. And I've tried to put him on. I've given him money. I've given him dope to sell. He ends up smoking it or doing something with it. You know what I mean? He was never really like a smoking dope kind of person, but he definitely will get a needle and inject that bitch, which he was like a different level. But that's my dog, bro. He's my homie. I ain't going to say no names and shit, man. But, you know, he's one of the only ones that was fucked up on drugs, but like, he never flipped on me, never switched, never tried to rob me, never stole from me, nothing. But he was the one who put me on the cryptocurrency, which is going to be life-changing in a few years. So me and him are going to be up there, you know. So he's one of the only homies that are left. You know, I had a homeboy tree that motherfucker flipped over $400. I mean, I paid his light bill for his house when his mom died. His mom died, couldn't afford the light bill I paid for. It was like $400 for the whole house. And dude just fucking blocked me, deleted my number, flipped on some other person. He pretended to rent a room out to somebody. He took their money and dipped. And then, like, the guy that owns the house comes and says, hey, everybody got to get out. I say, yo, what I paid for a whole month? He's like, yo, I don't know who you paid, but you didn't pay me. I own this house. And then the dude just dipped, bro. Moved to Texas, nigga, like a fuck nigga, bro. Like, I get it. People get fucked up, man. But, like, when you got some badass motherfuckers on your team like me, bro, the last thing you want to do is flip on somebody like me, man. I'm always willing to understand. I've been through hell, bro. And I never judge nobody's darkness, bro, because mine My darkness almost took me with it. You know, because I've been through a whole lot of shit. The shit I've been through, like, man, most of y'all couldn't even walk 2 steps in my shoes. And the fact that some motherfuckers will flip and switch up on you like that over some money, that's weak as fuck. And that's just not the type of person I need around me, bro. So I'm kind of glad everybody showed me their true colors before I became successful. Because, yeah, sure, right now I'm not living the life. I don't have a great apartment, but you know what? I got my own apartment. It costs $2,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I got my own little cats here. You know what I'm saying? I got my little family. I got my son. He's healthy. I've changed his diet completely. Got him in baseball. He's in 7th grade now. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. Me and him are like more close and stuff. So like it's getting better. Oh my God. ¿Qué es lo que tú estás haciendo? ¿Serio, gringa? Me tienes mamado. Coño, espérate. Fuck, bro. Feed these cats fucking 2 times a day and they still fucking act like I don't feed them, bro. And they get food from the neighbors. Damn. I might as well get some fucking coffee, bro. There. Oh, where's the bag? Here. But I lost that battle by calling up the player. But I lost that battle by calling up the player. Locked up in my castle. Starting to unravel. Surrounded by all these snakes and jackals. Oh man, that's good. Bro, why does my nose still feel stuffed? I already used the spray and everything, cuz like I don't get it. Maybe it's the cats, and the fucking weather, and the AC. My fucking mechanic came and when he was looking at my AC, there's mold inside the unit. So like I have to like take all the shit I have in that little storage spot, clean it up, and have the building come. Bro, it took him 4 months to come fix my sink, dude. My sink was leaking in the bottom for like 4 months. And every month I paid rent. I was like, hey, chop, nigga, this is all wet and humid and nasty up here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not living the life. But guess what? I pay for my shit. I live alone. My parents help me with certain things. But don't nobody pay my rent. You know, don't nobody show up to the gym for me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things and certain qualities that I carry that bring value to myself. And like I don't even care about bringing value to nobody else anymore because I know what I bring to the table, and like I tell everybody, I'm not afraid to eat alone, bro. I'm really not. I can sit at a table made of 24 karat gold with $100 million cash sitting in front of me. I'll be completely alone. I'll be happy, bro. As long as I got my son, my family, and my cats, forget about it. I'm not worried about shit. You know, I got God with me, bro. God is the reason why I made it this far. So you guys can sit here and talk about, oh, the fairy tale this, fairy tale that. A lot of motherfuckers talk about this shit about Jesus and God. He was a real person. Like, it's not a fairy tale. There was witnesses to this shit. Like, it's fucking stupid to ignore facts. And that's the thing about people today. When you tell somebody, hey, you're fat because this, and that, they get upset at you. And they get mad when you give them the facts. You're lazy as fuck. You're not disciplined whatsoever. And you keep thinking that you need motivation. Motivation is garbage. It's a fucking scam. Motivation is the biggest fucking scam. Because motivation, guess what? To feel motivated, guess what? You have to feel motivated. Feel one more time. You know what I'm saying? Feel motivated. You need to feel it. That's feelings. If you don't feel like being motivated, you're not going to be motivated. Think about it. Who the fuck wakes up in the morning and feels like I want to go to work? Not nobody want to go to work. Not nobody want to go to the gym. Nobody wants that shit. So all that shit about motivation, it's a fucking scam. Stop doing it to yourself. What you need is fucking discipline. Discipline trumps fucking motivation every single time. Why? Because discipline is when you do things when you're not motivated, but you do them knowing that they're necessary and need to be done, regardless of how you what? Feel. You know what I'm saying? Get it right, dude. Discipline over motivation any day, bro. Oh, I'm not motivated. Of course you're not, because you're fucking weak. Get disciplined. And the first thing I did was, you know what? I got my heart broken. I tried to get my ex back. She was a loser. She's pathetic. Didn't want to do shit with her life. I said, you know what, bro? The only way that I can ignore the way that I feel about this girl, not wanting to be, successful with me and wanting to move forward past all the bullshit from the past. Don't you do no crazy shit, homeboy. Better get your ass to sleep, boy. Cut your tail off. I'm just kidding. I would never. So just the fact that, damn, it's 1 o'clock. I gotta go to the gym. People in the group chat say we need those pictures. Anyway, so all right, but yeah, like I said, fuck it. You know what, dude? I'm gonna fuel my heartbreak and and the energy that I've lost and the time that I've put into this relationship and getting it back. And it's crazy because like we broke up. She went up north. Long story short, she was like, like you're starting to like wake up things in my heart again about you. I'm starting to have feelings for you again, and like I really like you again. You're starting to change. And then like always, shit takes a turn for the worst. And like we got into a fight. Neighbors called the cops. I was the one that I had scratches on my face or whatever. And obviously, cops are going to decide on their own who's going to go. And obviously, I was on probation, so I was scared. I was like, fuck, I'm going to violate, go back to prison, or some fucking bitch. And that was a real big eye-opener, the fact that this girl can't control her emotions. Plus, she's an alcoholic just like her father. So, point is, I almost went to jail. She ended up getting locked up. And then that's when everything took a turn, like to where like, Sal was the bad guy. Every time he's around, something bad happens, which isn't true. Like she never tells them the good parts. She doesn't tell them the parts that were like when her father abandoned her for a second time. I was the one who paid for her papers to get her to become legal here. I did that barely knowing her. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw the authenticity and that she was a pure. What are you trying to do? 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 Try some stupid shit, bro. Hey, man, listen. People on my couch, bro. Man, listen. But anyways, I can't believe I messed on my screen, dude. What an idiot. That sucks. But whatever. So, I said, fuck it. You don't want to move forward in life, bro. There's this saying, I forgot who said it, man. A tree and grass, they start all at the same place, at the fucking bottom. Now, what you want to do is you want to be a tree. You want to grow. You came from the same place. So your environment, your history, your family, your genetics, all that shit means nothing. You can start from the same place as everybody else. Broke, no parents, no help, alone, nothing, depressed, ugly, whatever. It's on you to fix all that. Only you can change that. You're going to go through your life playing victim, blaming your parents, blaming your situation, blaming the demographics of your city. Like, fuck off, dude. You chose the job you have. You chose what to fucking buy for your groceries. You chose where to live. You chose who to fuck. You chose who to have a kid with. It's your fault. All these choices add up to what? You. I never lived in regret when I was younger, and I regret not living in regret because I regret a lot of things that I did. Now that I think about it, now that I have a new mentality, I regret so many things I did. I invested in so many people and got nothing in return. All I got back was, you know what? Lessons. That's all I got. I've never lost a day in my life. I hear it. Bro, don't get stupid with me. I like to lose because a loss to me isn't a loss. It's a lesson, because when you do something once, twice, 3 times, by the time you do it the 4th time, you no longer do it ignorant. You do it with experience. So I've said this a million times before. I was told by a successful person to fail faster. I was like, hey, what's your secret? What do I do to become successful at 40, 50 years old? He's like, fail faster. Fuck up quicker. The more chances you take, check it out. Out of 100 calls for a sales call, for example, you're trying to sell a product. You're trying to sell fucking insurance. You're trying to sell something, right? Somebody might give up on the 99th call, not realizing that the 100th call was going to make them 10 grand that month. You get what I'm saying? Most people give up right about their peak point, right before they actually make it. Most people turn around, give up, go back to the 9-to-5 bullshit. And my situation is different. I've been going to different companies to see if they needed somebody for consulting. And I'm trying to get a job, but I'm trying to get a job on a higher, of a different value. I want to just clock in and work for you as a company, as a cook or something like that. I want to come in here and help with your operations. Tell me what you're failing at. Tell me what you're lacking in. Tell me what needs to be fixed. And I'll do my homework and I'll work internally with you guys to figure out the problems, who the problems are, what the problems are, and why they're there. That's what I like to present to people. So, but that, again, is another business. It's not even me working. So that would cost me money to invest in the business, getting all that shit set up, going around talking to business owners. And that's still an idea. But I'm going to have to go back to the basics. I'm going to have to go back to a regular job because of the fact that I've spent about $57,000 just maintaining my lifestyle for the past 12 months. So I've spent almost 60 grand in 12 months while making zero. My truck's not working. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not doing nothing. And I still eat out. I still take my son places. I still buy him stuff. I still do shit, but that's included in there. So it's 57, like 48 to $5,200 a month I spend in the past 12 months. So luckily I have my parents to help me out. Like they'll help me with let's say they go and buy my son's uniforms, and I'll be like, oh shit, oh, cool, thanks, appreciate it. And they'll help me. They'll call me when I'm with my son. Hey, I'm gonna buy you guys some dinner. And like they know I'm struggling, but they know that I have so much pride that I'm not gonna come back to mommy's house and sleep in a fucking room in the middle of the house like a fucking bum because I'm a grown ass man. I'd rather be under a bridge by myself, hustling rocks, pushing stones, and selling bags. Like straight the fuck up. I will not go back to grandma's house like most people that I know. I used to have a client. I forgot his name. I didn't forget his name. I just don't want to put him on blast. This motherfucker, I knew him for years, bro. And then we didn't link up until like he realized that I was on it. I was the man. I had whatever you can call, whatever you want to know, you call me, I got you. No matter the amount, I'll get you a truckload delivered in a couple of days if you want. Whatever it was, bro. Good old days. I thank God every day that I'm not in a box or dead in the grave because of it, or paraplegic and stuff, So I'm grateful for making it out of that shit. I'd rather be broke and struggling the way that I am now than have all that money and have it tied up into a bank account that's frozen with my son having nothing and me being in prison or dead, regardless. So I've never met an old gangster or an old drug dealer, none of that stuff. They expire real quick. So I'm glad I got the fucking mentality to do these things legally. You know what I'm saying? So he used to pull up to cop for me, right? And here's the thing. He would pull up, and then I always had the highest quality product. Ask anybody around me. Any female that had parties with me, ask them about my quality. Any niggas that had dope for me, ask them why they came to me and not the other plugs. Because of the quality. I didn't care about the quantity. I paid an extra couple bucks out of my own pocket so that I can make sure my customers have the best quality product, untouched, uncut, raw. From the plug to your hands, bro. Straight like that. And that's how I was. So this guy will pull up in a Benz. It was a baby Benz. It wasn't even a fucking full-off C-class or E-class. No, it was the fucking A-class. This thing pulled up in an A-class Mercedes. Outside was white. Once you get inside, it's got red interior, leather seats. It's all smooth. It's nice and chilled in there. Cooled seats, whatever the fuck. Bro, the dude lived with his grandmother and paid no rent. He didn't even help her with the rent. And I'm like, so they both said, so how much you pay for this, bro? He said, I pay $1,400 a month. This was it's probably like 6-7 years ago. So which was probably like $2,000 right now. It was nice. It was decked out. Had his little cositas and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Looked good, sure. But dude, you live with your abuela and you pay $1,400 a month for a car note. Not even for the insurance. $1,400 plus insurance. There's probably like $1,600 a month. And poor abuela's over here using her fucking government check to pay for groceries to cook for your ass. And nigga, you ain't even helping out. You have a job, full-time job, and you sell dope because I supply you with it. So I know you're making money. And poor abuela, bro, man, fuck that nigga. Straight up. Like, how you gonna do that? Like, bro, I know a dude right now. He actually owes me money. He works. His wife works. They got 2 kids. They live with their mom. They live with his mom. The dude owed me like $600 for, like a year and a half, 2 years. Because when he was down bad and didn't have a job, I was like, bro, so, I know you're doing good. Help me out, dog. Throw me a bag. Let me hustle. And boom, boom, I'll bring it back to you double. I said, listen, dog, I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I never had a problem with taking a risk. Never. So I said, fuck it, you know what? Boom. I put the shit in his hand. Eventually started to build up. And I thought nothing of it, but it was $500-600 to a nigga that was making $1,000 a day. You feel me? So got to the point where I was just like, man, these niggas be lying to you. And I saw a video with DMX said, listen, bro, expect people to be themselves. I expect people to act like themselves. And when they asked him to elaborate, he said, listen, expect a snake to bite you. Expect a boxer to punch you. Expect a murderer to kill you. Expect a thief to steal from you, because if that's what they are, that's what they're going to do. It's not just what you think they are. It's just you have to evaluate who's who around you. And then once you do, bam, you know who the fuck to associate with or not. I've been in shootouts because of being with the wrong people. Bullets flying. Like, what the fuck? There was one where I was the one shooting, but there was one time I've been in two shootouts. One, I wasn't the one who started it. Second one, I was. But the first one, I could have lost my fucking life over some dude who went to go supposedly make a deal, and then he was actually going to try to rob dude. And dude wasn't having it. He pulled out and started busting that shit. I was like, God, man, you almost had me killed, bro. He's like, whatever, man, we would have had that. I was like, we would have what? Would have had what? You would have had your little bag and I would have been dead on the cement, nigga. What the fuck you mean would have had what, nigga? The fuck people are, come on, man. That's just ridiculous. So I've been through a lot of fuck shit, bro. I've seen a lot of fucking snake motherfuckers, bro. And it's just not something that you want to associate yourself with. Like, nobody's trying to be a tough guy at 35, 40 years old, bro. I was that guy at 20, 25, even to 27. You looked at me wrong, I was slapping you in the mouth. Dude, like, easy, bro. You're going to be spitting blood out in a few seconds. You keep looking at me like that. Like, I was always like that hothead motherfucker. It says it right here, look. Most hot-headed. That's one of the most accurate statements I've been given by a fucking police precinct. Most hot-headed. Look at that. So, with time and experience, man, like, don't let it get to the point where you fuck up your life. You got to be thinking like this, how I'm thinking inside of a jail cell with like 20 years, dude. Get the fuck up out the streets, bro. Nobody wants to be a tough guy at this age, bro. You just want to have a good woman by your side. But here's the thing, though. A lot of men try to find a good woman and then build up with that good woman. Women today ain't having that shit, bro. Women want you to already be established while they're broke as fuck. They don't want to be able to be with a man who can't afford the dinner that they can't even afford. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid, if I were to ever give the tab to my ex, man, listen, bro. Every date was minimum. We would go to lunch and I'd spend $250, $300. Lunch. Simple bullshit ass food, bro. So that shit all right there saved me a whole bunch of money. I eat at home. I cook. I'm a chef. I cook at home, dude. I cook at home and it tastes better than the bullshit I paid in the streets. So like, I just did it for her because it was the experience. I just felt that was the thing to do as a man. Okay, you live with me. You help me take care of my son while I go out to the streets and fucking make the money. So you know what? She deserved it. I would buy her whatever she wanted, give her whatever. You need help here? Whatever. Gotcha. Now, eventually that shit comes to an end because people get comfortable. And then when you start saying, look, I'm going to save my money. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want a future. People start calling you broke. People start calling you cheap. So I was like, okay, cool. You think I'm cheap? Funny how you call me cheap, but you can't afford it yourself. But I can. I could afford it twice, maybe 3 times. And you can't even afford it once. But you're calling me cheap. How ironic, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, men want to build with a woman. It's sometimes impossible. You get lucky if you get that. You want to build yourself alone. Get a relationship with God and Jesus Christ. Become the best version of yourself. And instead of chasing something, attract it. If you're chasing money, it's running from you. If you're chasing a woman, she's running from you. Women don't run from men that they want. So if the woman comes to you willingly, that's the one. If you got to reach out to her every time, you got to call her every time, you got to try to set something up with her every time and go by her schedule every time, she's not the one, bro. They say happy wife, happy life. Fuck that. A happy man is God's plan. That's the real thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the real shit right there. A happy man is God's plan. Fuck the wife shit. The wife is supposed to submit to the man. So the man becomes a God-fearing, established man, right? Disciplined as fuck, has goals, has a vision. And the woman who cannot see that through his lens has no reason, no right to be next to him. Straight up. She needs to step the fuck aside. So that the right one can step the fuck up. A woman who wants you is going to let you know she wants you. So if you got to sit here and argue, or like if you got to sit here and like there's women that I've tried, you know what, I've had her on my Instagram for a while. She looks good. She's cute. She's a grown ass woman. Looks like she wants to start a business, all this shit. So, I'll take my shot. I'll say, she'll message me, or like I'll message her with one of her stories to make it more private, right? And then I start a conversation, and then they'll act like they're interested, but it's like they at the end of the day, they want you to kiss their ass. So then I put a handshake thing saying, hey, blah, blah. I'm not really sure if I've even really met you. I've had you on my Instagram for a while. Nice to meet you. I'm Saul. I put a little handshake thing. And she's like, hi, Saul, handshake. I'm Camila. Blah, 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 whatever. Whoops. So then whatever. Point is, we start talking about stuff, and then she starts talking about my kid. I start talking about hers. She starts with these single word responses. Like there was one time where I was like, also, how old's your kid? She's like, I don't do that. I don't answer those kind of questions to people I don't know. What the fuck? You might have my own son. What the fuck do you think I want yours? What the fuck I want you? We're just making conversation. We're both parents. You asked about my son. I'm asking about yours. And I was like, bro, right there, I was like, shit. Boom. I left that shit on red, bro. I was like, man, fuck that shit. But I'm pretty sure I deleted her and everything, bro. Like, you expect me to kiss your ass, and you expect to be with that entitled mentality with me? I'm not gonna have it, bro. I'm a man of substance. I got money. I'm good to go. I'm stable. The last thing I need is a woman that's always in a bad mood, toxic, negative, and I don't do that. I don't do what? You don't make conversation? Then get the fuck out of here. What you gonna do? The fuck? You want me to pay you for your time? What the fuck, bitch? I pay a hooker for that? The fuck? You dumb bitch. Are you serious? Anyways, man, that's 40 minutes of me ranting, bro. Again, more success in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all I care about, bro. Accomplishing goals. I set goals, I execute, and I get them done, bro. Out the motherfucking way, bro. So another thing under my belt, sure, it's probation, but listen, it's something to be proud of, bro. All right, I could have been in prison for 12 years. You know, I'm not trying to thank God that he's the greatest. He's the shit. He's just the man, bro. From 12 years to, and if y'all think, from 12 years to probation, you snitched on who? The fuck? I got my ass beat at the bar and pulled a gun out, and they knocked me the fuck out once I turned around and put it away. Hey, who am I snitching on? Ain't nobody snitching nowhere. There's nobody to snitch on. I got snitched on because them fools tried to rob me. But when they saw I wasn't having it and I had a pistol, they said, buddy, crazy. Yeah, I am. Test your luck, nigga. I had 4 niggas in front of me, 1 gun, 1 nigga. Boom, me. I said, listen, this ain't what you want, bro. So I put the gun back, turned around, they beat me to death. Literally, I was revived twice. Once on the sidewalk when I was in my pool of my own blood. Once in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. I woke up with a tube down my throat, handcuffed to the bed with 2 niggas with rifles. So, snitching what, dude? Ain't nobody snitching on shit, nigga. They snitched by calling the cops. They should have just let me walk the fuck out. But they chose that route. So, like, if something happens to them, I pray to God nothing happens to them because I'm going to be the one that they're going to come after. You know, but I pray for them. I prayed for them. I hope they're good. I hope they're chill. So, as long as they leave me the fuck alone, I won't catch another charge. So, I'm going to go ahead and get changed. Get the fuck off there. I'm going to get changed, feed these fucking cats, and, nuts itch. Tight ass pants. And I'm going to hit the gym, bro, because I got to go pick up my son in like 2 hours. Yep, time to go. All right, yeah. Later, guys. Whoever the fuck you are.